like you're saying, the non-negotiables, high, in the grip, all that things. Negotiables, hand size, like the things and all this, and then also support hand of where we're putting it onto the frame of the pistol. I started out with the full-on like Glock, very tactical grip, where like not even touching the bottom of the gun, my thumb is resting on the frame of the pistol. When I did that, my focus was then on pushing into the frame of the pistol with my thumb. When I did that, this happened. You'll see that? I was like push, 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 push. And the entire surface area of my palm left my gun, and now I'm trying to control recoil with the tip of my thumb. Which one has more surface area? The meat of my thumb. The meat of my thumb has so much more surface area than the tip of my thumb. And every time I shot, I would do that. So then I started stippling, I started doing grip tape all right here to fix the issue, because I was like, oh, this has to be all the cool guys are doing this. Here to tell you that that's factually incorrect, okay? Also, when I'm doing this, and I put more input, where does the gun go? So it starts pushing left. Now I got real good at counteracting it. I'd push it in and I'd start twisting some things around, and then I'm literally fighting my hands together instead of actually just holding on to the gun, okay? So starting with thumb all the way forward, first thing I would recommend you do, and I would highly encourage you to try it, is get your thumb off of the gun entirely. I promise you, taking your thumb off of the gun is not going to impact your recoil control unless your meat of your thumb is already off the gun. Okay, so put the meat of your thumb onto the gun in some manner. Wrist angle does not matter. I promise you it does not matter. I can shoot very, very good with my thumb looking like it's locked out, and I can shoot very, very well with my thumb a lot more relaxed and more vertical orientation. This also depends on guns. 2011s for me have a lot more straight vertical. PDPs, some will shoot the PDP, have a lot more vertical grip angle. It's just inherent. It's a thing. Okay, it doesn't matter though. Just put your support hand onto the gun in some orientation. I personally prefer a more vertical orientation. So if I'm shooting more like this, it's not as pleasant for me as I'm shooting like this. I feel like I'm driving the gun down less when it's more vertical. Okay, that's a preference thing. Awesome shooters, like you said, Vogel. Vogel is like way up here. Now, unless you are Eric Graffel himself, and I see your freaking finger around the trigger guard, I'm going to make fun of you. Okay? Because what does that do? All that does is move my hand forward, and now I'm not even on the gun entirely. So, 4 fingers, bottom of trigger guard, wrap around, squeeze. Okay? I'll slightly caveat to his pressures of like the strong hand doesn't do a lot. I would say your strong hand does the majority, but that's just a preference thing, because I want to be able to shoot amazingly one hand, and then my support hand is literally just gravy. That's extra. Okay, if I can do everything like this, if I add an entire hand, everything just got 10 times easier. Basically, does that kind of make sense? So this hand, it's holding the gun, but I'm not squeezing the gun. Squeezing the gun doesn't allow me to articulate my trigger. Okay, because that's the majority thing. Like, this gun is awesome, but if it doesn't go bang, it's a paperweight. So the most important job is to pull the trigger. I have to have dexterity enough of pulling the trigger straight back. If my hand is 100% pressure, I can't actually articulate my trigger. Does that make sense? So I squeeze as much as I can to not induce trigger freeze or difficulty pulling the trigger. Does that kind of make sense? And then it's like, hey, I prefer a tight wrist and forearm. I'm not trying to death squeeze my hand, but by golly, my wrist and my forearms are freaking locked. They are not moving. Okay, just like what he's saying, when the gun recoils, it recoils all in one. Okay, it's not snap, snap, snap. You'll notice your return to sights are incredibly slow whenever you're snapping. So you're like, man, where's my dot going? Where's my dot going? Oh, there it is. Where's my dot going? And you're gonna feel behind the curveball. Versus if everything is locked out, it's just nice and smooth the entire time. Okay. Support hand again, get it on there and start crushing. That is the thing. I prefer, like you're saying, get as much on the back side of the gun as possible. Back when I was shooting shadows, like I would purposefully keep this side of the gun open so I could get some support hand meat on there. Okay. So it's a preference thing, play around with that. Go structure a little bit too, with like hands. So like when I'm holding this gun, the only thing that's holding this gun is my elbows and neck. There's no biceps, there's no shoulders, there's no back, there's nothing. Like I am just holding the gun. How relaxed do my shoulders and everything look when I present the gun?